I've always thought Christian was one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, and he's done some amazing things in his career. Another wrestler who everywhere that he's went, he's succeeded, gone to the top of the company, um, and truly one of the best and smartest minds.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the After Chat here on Sportskeeda's Wrestle Binge. And All In is taking place in Wembley. I got my the correct hat on this morning, and it's my pleasure to be talking with young Nick Wayne. Welcome to the After Chat. First time, right?
Yes, sir. First time on this.
Yeah. And I knew your dad. I mentioned that to you before we started recording.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So what I want to talk to you about before we go over the card for All In, I was doing my research, and it seems that the only other wrestler I could find that was fairly dependent and working with his mother through most of his career was Marcus Allen Bagwell, Marcus Bagwell. So what is the whole thing with you being involved with your group with your mother? I mean, what do people say, do you follow your mother wherever she goes? What's the story?
So my mom was she's never played a role in wrestling ever until now in AEW. But she's always been around wrestling her entire life. Of course, marrying my father. But even before that, her dad was very into wrestling, and my grandfather, Moondog Ed Moretti, was of course
Oh,
a professional wrestler, and
yeah.
that is her dad, so my grandfather. So it's runs in the family. So she's always been around wrestling, but never once played a role in wrestling until now, when the idea was presented late last year. But I'm very grateful to have my mom on screen. I know it's something that later in life I'm going to look back at it and be very grateful that it once happened.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, it's kind of crazy. I would have never thought it would happen. I don't think she says it all the time. She never thinks it would have happened either, especially never playing a role in wrestling. It's something that's just was an idea one day and we just went with it and now we're running.
Yeah, you sure are. So I want to go down some of the main events in the All In card. I was there actually at the very first one. I want to start off with world champion Swerve Strickland and
The main event.
main event. Yeah.
All right. If you want to talk about the main event, we'll talk about the trios champions. That's going to be the main event of All In.
Wait, the trios champions?
The trios
That's going to
champions.
be
Yes,
this is why people are going to this is
the
why people
true.
are going to Wembley.
Yeah,
Okay. Um,
that is the main event. Why people are coming to Wembley is for the trios champions.
okay, well tell us, I assume you figure that you and your partners are going to be successful in this title defense.
Of course, of
I
course.
use the word assume. Assume.
The ladder match, very similar to a TLC match, something that Christian Cage has invented and has always strived in. When you think of Edge and Christian, you think of TLC. Um, so we already have an advantage with Christian on our team, something he's very similar to a match like this being a ladders match. Um, and I've had my experience as well in ladder matches. So I'm willing to get crazy. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to retain these belts again. But I truly believe the trios champions are the main attraction on All In this Sunday.
Well, you got the Bang Bang Gang. Um, you've got the House of Black, and now Pac and the Blackpool gang. They're also involved in this match. There's a lot of tough competition.
Yep, 12 wrestlers.
Yeah. So I assume, since we're going to run down the card, who do you predict to win? Kind of.
In my match,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
The way I look right now is the same way I'll look on Monday after the show.
All right. Still carrying the belt.
Of course.
All right, let's move on to what you told me before we went on the prelims. We've got the world champion, Swerve Strickland, with Prince Nana against Brian Danielson. And if Brian Danielson doesn't win this match, that's kind of the end for him. Who do you pick in this match and why?
Ugh. I've had my history with Swerve. Um, so I definitely I don't want Swerve, but Danielson, I on a real level, I truly believe that he's had the most historic professional wrestling career of all time. Everywhere he's gone, he's succeeded. In every promotion, his entire career, everywhere he's gone, he's always gone to the top of the company. Um, and that takes skill, and it's because he truly is the best in the world. So I think I got to pick Danielson for this one, honestly.
Okay, all right. He has come out recently, so I'm wondering if his heart is fully in this because he's having on one end, he'd love to win this match. On the other end, he's got his family pulling him home. So,
Right.
how do you think that mentally affects him?
It probably affects him mentally crazy, especially with the things that Swerve is saying about his family. Um, of course, he wants to continue his career as a professional wrestler. He wants to be AEW World Champion.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but family is more important than anything. Family is a big number one in a lot of people's lives. So that kind of balance has to be crazy.
Check out Brain Buster, the daily quiz that tests your WWE knowledge with winning streaks, stats, and more. It's time to see if you're up for the challenge.
So now you're talking about using the term the best in the world. And recently on AEW TV, there was a nose-to-nose confrontation between MJF and Will Ospreay. Fans going crazy over Will Ospreay. MJF stating he is the best in the world. It's head-to-head. Fans are very excited about seeing this. Will Ospreay has got a hometown crowd there, over 40,000 people expected. What's going to happen?
It's hard to say, but the anticipation built between them is unreal. Like you said, the conversation they had last night on Dynamite, both guys fighting for that title, of course, of the international champion, what is now MJF is made the American champion,
Yeah.
but also fighting for the title of the best in the world. And two young guys, two of the best to do it right now. It's going to be a crazy showcase, and it's going to be one of the show stealers of All In. But of course, the show stealer is the London Ladders match. Don't forget.
I got that. But I'm going to push you here for a winner. MJF, Will Ospreay. What's going to happen?
I gotta go. I might have to go Osprey.
Ospreay. Okay. And why does he have the edge?
I don't
Hometown
know.
advantage?
I've always been a fan of Osprey. I've seen him pull out crazy stops. I've been in the ring with him. I know, kind of how he hits. He's unreal. And he's another beast. And I feel like when he has 50,000 plus people chanting his name, and all these people just, bringing him to life, I feel like is what's really gonna push him to that next level and shift into that next gear and come out victorious.
Okay. Another very controversial match here is the CEO versus the DMD. Who takes that match? Britt Baker coming back, of course, to go against the CEO and Mercedes Moné. And it's for Monet's title, too. So who do you pick in that one?
Mercedes. No one touches Mercedes.
Really? You think that
Yep.
you think that Britt Baker has been out injured too long and she doesn't have the skill set that she used to?
Not saying that. I'm just saying Mercedes, there's a reason why she's holding two titles right now. So I don't know. I just feel like she's untouchable right now. She's on another level.
You know, it seems that the Jacksons favor her quite a bit. Is there something going on that you can reveal why they have such a why they is there something going on inside with the three of them where they favor her over everyone else?
Who is this?
The Jackson, the young Bucks.
Oh, the Young Bucks.
Yes.
I've always been a fan of the Young Bucks ever since I was very young. Probably, I think I discovered them when I was about 10 years old in PWG. And I feel like they've always kept momentum going. You know, they never slowed down. They never, you know, let things kind of physically slow them down. They've always been on a uprise, you know, in AEW and professional wrestling as a whole.
Well, no, that's not what Nick. That's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you is they seem to favor Mercedes Moné.
And if you want to look at it that way, maybe,
Okay.
but I think Mercedes, you know, she's champion because she's untouchable.
They're going to be they're going to be putting their titles on the line versus FTR and the Acclaimed for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. What's going on there? Who do you pick?
I want the EVPs. I want the Young Bucks.
Okay, all right. I know you want them, but again, they've got two other teams that are quite incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Young Bucks tactics. I know they have what it takes to pull out all the stops to retain what's theirs.
Okay, by hook or crook is the old adage goes. All right. Let's talk about Jack Perry. It's a coffin match for the TNT Championship against that guy Darby Allin, who at one time was, you know, a very close friend of yours. Okay, so your pick.
Jack
Or you
Perry.
just Jack? Now I knew you were going to go there right away. Why?
Because it's Darby. I've said what I had to say about Darby. I've done what I had to done. I've done what I had to do to Darby. I think everyone knows how I feel about him, and that's not going to change.
Okay, all right. Before I let you go, Christian Cage. There are people that are that he has helped in that. What does Christian Cage mean to you in terms of the way he has helped your career?
I've always thought Christian was one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time, and he's done some amazing things in his career. Another wrestler who everywhere that he's went, he's succeeded, gone to the top of the company, and truly one of the best and smartest minds in professional wrestling. So the fact that I can be under his wing and his learning tree at such a young age is a huge blessing to me. And the fact that I just have someone to pick their brain whenever I want is another huge thank that I have to God for that. But yeah, I'm very thankful that I have a learning source in him that I could just ask whenever, and he watches all my stuff. I ask for his critiques all the time. But just truly one of the smartest brains to ever do it.
Okay, before I let you go, you were talking about the learning tree. We've got Chris Jericho, Mr. Learning Tree, against Hook. What you pick? Ooh, tough one, finally here.
Might have to go with Hook on this one.
Oh, really? Really?
Might
So
have to.
is it the youth part?
A tad bit, yeah.
Okay. Not a Taz bit, but a tad bit.
Yeah. Not the Taz bit.
Okay. All right. Well, then where can people find you on social media?
People can find me on Instagram and X, formerly known as Twitter, under the Nick Wayne. Yes, sir.
All right. Nick Wayne with Bill Apter here at the Apter Chat. It's going to be All In. You got to be there. And if you can't be there, contact your local pay-per-view provider and you can watch it there. We'll see you at All In.